The best way to get from A to B here in Cartagena is to jump on one of those motor taxis. When you see a motorcycle coming by with a spare helmet in the front, you just hail them down and you jump on the back and off you go. I got a spare gas bottle because I'm not sure if I can refill my tanks in Cuba. And I made a small inventory of my food so I can stock up well enough, because in Cuba there's not really a lot you can buy, so I have to make sure I bring most of the stuff with me. It's not even 10 o'clock in the morning and this day has already been pretty much eventful. I woke up because I had the feeling something was going on, and I walk outside and I see this big squall line coming up. I had just done a very big grocery shopping for Cuba yesterday, and instead of storing it away right away, I know, shame on me, I just put all the bags into the boat without storing them properly, and I still had like a couple of things outside too. I tried to start the engine to help the chain, you know, just in case, or in case the anchor drags, to have it going, running. But it didn't start, so I assumed there wasn't any fuel. So I checked everything, and didn't drag, which was good. There's a couple of boats around me that had to lift up their anchors and circle around and stuff. But mine was holding, touch wood. But had to bypass the filter, like the fine filter at the engine, which seemed to be clogged. Aired out the motor and got it running again. And problem was, after it was running for 10 minutes or something, I'm like, oh, something is weird, you know. You notice all these little changes on your boat, and then I look into the engine room and there's like water splashing. So probably the seal of the water pump is, I don't know, brittle or whatever. I mean, there's water coming out, so I had to stop it. Not only that, also it seems that there's a lot of weather going on for the next days, like the next 3-4 days. There's a lot of rain. Actually, there's been a big flood in Havana, killing 3 people. So I don't know, that doesn't really make me think that I want to leave. Then after all this stuff, I just found a cockroach, and I was storing all the stuff, and I opened up the floorboards and I found like not a lot, but a little bit of water, and it tastes salty. So I don't know, where does that come from? It's just so frustrating that these things just always happen just before you want to go. I mean, it's better they happen now than at sea, but I don't know. It seems that everything happens all at once, and it just eats up all your energy. And if it was, you know, happening one after the other, and you could tackle it like one by one, but I just always have the feeling there's these big nuts, or these big days where lots of things go wrong, and then I just feel overwhelmed and I don't know, tired and lonely, and it's hard to keep up the faith that everything will go right, and yeah, it's just difficult. It's just very, I don't know. Those are really moments where I think, you know, it's hard to be by yourself. There's no one you can say, hey, should we do this or that, or no one that says, you know, hey, come on, you know, we're gonna do it. And even though I have like support from home and stuff, and from friends, like occasionally, and you know, it's different as if they're here, and you know, you go through it together. I felt so confident after doing the passage from Panama to here, and everything, you know, went more or less good, and everything went more or less well, and I was working on the boat for the last 2 weeks, and even though things didn't progress like super fast, as they never do, I kind of had the feeling I was, you know, step by step, I was getting the boat ready, and I felt comfortable doing it. And now with the weather, with the engine again, and I don't know, with the squalls always scare the shit out of me for some reason. I just feel like a scared kid again, and I need to raise myself out of that hole again, which will probably take some energy. But good thing is I have a spare water pump. Bad news is it's seized. Good news is when it seized, Lansing Marine was so great to actually send me an instruction sheet telling me how I could fix it. So that's one thing I'm going to do. I'm going to try with the seized water pump. I'm going to try to see if I can get it going, or at least take it apart, so maybe there's a chance that I can fix it. Let's try. Well, I did not manage to fix the water pump myself, but I found someone who can most likely fix it. This guy was really resourceful, and he helped me to change the bearings of the water pump, and also there is a little thing broken off from the support of the pump that had to be welded, and he knew someone who could weld it, and we put the whole thing back together, and now I actually have 2 working water pumps, and it was really great because we had a really nice chat. He was a really interesting guy. I met like his whole family. He's got like 7 kids or something, and they're about to have a family meeting because it was the birthday of his wife. Anyways, I put the pump back onto the engine, and it worked. There's cooling water coming, and this problem is solved. And also I found some of the holes where the water might have come in, and I put some epoxy on them to seal them. Well, most of the things of my work list have been done, but the thing is that time is getting really short and the weather doesn't really look very good, so I really have to take a decision whether I can go to Cuba or not. But more about that next week.